Hello.
Hey Adam, Jason Saulnier here. How's it going?
Hello, Jason. How are you?
Very good. Sorry for the lateness here. How's it going with you?
I'm very good. I'm very good. Yeah, just getting ready to head off and get started again tomorrow.
Awesome, awesome. And I mean, we're promoting a great product that's going to be released very soon.
Yeah,
Headspace.
do you like it?
Oh, I love it. Your new track there you got on YouTube. Excellent stuff.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, we're getting getting close to release day, so it's exciting stuff.
Now, with this track, compared to the I Am Anonymous album, was it much different, working in the studio, or you say it's like mostly the same approach?
A lot of it was the same kind of approach, just purely because our schedules again were very busy. So I was away. I've been away a lot with Ozzy and working with other artists, as have all the other guys in the band. You know, they've all been busy. So for us, it just seems to be working the way that we work together. You know, Pete and I will get together and work on some ideas. Damien and I will get together, and then Damien's in charge of all the lyrics, melodies, and the concept. So once we've got some musical things together, we'll send them to him, and he'll get started on that. And he works on those right up until the last day he records. So he's always very kind of focused on where it's all going and what it's about.
And you guys got an interesting concept, for the cover, from what I've seen.
Yeah, we've tried to go. I mean, the first album was very much kind of about the individual, and it was kind of based around that individual's going through life and the soldier and reflecting on all the things, the current affairs. This is a bit more about the human kind of natural need to group, and the fact that these groups are their kind of inability to control the individual. So, each of the songs kind of use that grouping to reflect on whether it be current affairs or, the effects of maybe big business like pharmaceutical companies and the way they sort of try and control us, governments, religions, all those kind of groups, and kind of each song kind of tackles with a different one of those, really.
Mm. And like your life will change. Yeah, I mean, you guys look at titles quite hard, to find the song titles, I guess, and lyrics and all
Mm.
that. I'm sure it took some time to think of all this stuff.
Well, I mean, Damien does a great job. Damien he's a big thinker, Damien, and he kind of, there's nothing ever kind of throwaway in the way that he writes. It's always very, he's thought about things a lot, and each song is very much kind of follows a different thing. Sometimes it's kind of harder to tell than others, but I mean, certainly, your life will change is kind of about how the groups of, say, the media and press try to control and affect society, and how that they're trying to keep the masses happy, promising that better times and the future will be better, whereas you know as it kind of happens, it's kind of that's not generally the case. So that's kind of how what that one's really about.
And also, Adam, you guys gonna get promo videos done? Actual videos.
Well, again, funny you should say that. Just this morning, I'm looking at the first cut of the video which we did for the Science Within Us. So that will be probably a couple of weeks away yet, but it's looking great. And yeah, we shot that just at the start of the year back in England.
Awesome. So yourself, do you surf YouTube, to check out some stuff, what you're doing on YouTube and all that stuff?
Oh, what? As in what's going on
Yeah,
on the shows?
worldwide, and how people, use YouTube to promote bands now, just to put their
Well, it's all
singles.
it's so different. I mean, it is so different even from 2012. Things are kind of people are expecting the music is kind of free these days. It's it can't we can't give away everything. But I see now that the kind of just in the last few years the kind of the expectations from consumers is that you have to give some stuff away, which I don't mind doing as long as people are going to still support music and still support people that make music. So not just us, but continue to go and see live bands and keep them making music. Because ultimately, if music does become free, then there's going to be less people making it.
Yeah, and then what happens? You got n not
Well,
too good
exactly, yeah.
music.
Exactly. So hopefully that's not going to, I think the good thing about progressive rock is that the fans are very loyal and they're very genuine, to the best part. So, people do like to come and watch live bands, live prog bands, which is great. So we're gonna do some shows in the summer, and then hopefully do a short European run in December.
What's good now is vinyl's, making a big comeback, and I mean, you guys are producing on vinyl, I take it?
Amazing, yeah. Again, just this morning, I've just seen the kind of the press pack for that stuff, which looks great. And again, the vinyl, the vinyl scene is kind of a bit of a strange one, really. That's kind of, it's the individuals going against the grouping, if you like. It's like, the record companies, stopped doing vinyl however many years ago, and but people still wanted it. It's kind of the demand was there. People liked the fact that, they missed the fact that you don't have that great artwork. You've got a great, the images are now scaled down. You buy something on iTunes, and you've got a picture that's, like 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters,
Right.
as much of the artwork you're going to see. So that for me is what's so great about vinyl. I don't actually have a record player, but I love the fact that you can hold something that's so beautifully packaged and put together, and that people have worked hard on. For me, that's that's half of it.
Do you see the end of CDs, because of the people going absolutely for vinyl?
I don't think so. No, I think CDs will always kind of be around, but just on a much smaller scale. I think it's like anything. It's kind of the times change, and you have to keep up with it. But for me, it's a shame that the physical kind of product is becoming less. It's great that vinyl's having a resurgence, but at the same time, times change, and people listen to music in different ways now. Certainly, when I was younger, I'd put on a whole album and sit down. If I bought an album, I wouldn't just put it on and listen to a track and then listen to another track the following day. I'd sit down and listen to a whole album in one go, because I wanted to experience the whole thing the first time I listened to it. But I don't know many people who have the time these days to actually sit and put a whole album on. So people stick it on their phones, they listen to it on the bus, and they got 20 minutes here and 20 minutes there. So it's people just listen to music differently now.
Yeah, in a sense, it's going back to the singles eras, from the 50s, just 2 songs, technically. The people have the tolerance to hear.
Exactly, and short too. Singles back then, might be 2 minutes long, 2 minutes 20. So
right.
Kind of, I think that one of the wonderful things we've got with Headspace is that we can do, we can kind of do what we like, really, because we're, without being kind of complacent. We kind of love what we do. We love making music that we want to listen to, and the fact that other people are into it is just the icing on the cake for us, because we're genuine about what we're doing, and if it takes 3 years, it takes 3 years. If it takes 4 years, it takes 4 years. We're not gonna put an album out that we're not 100% happy with, because it just doesn't seem a point when we've worked so hard to make an album. It just seems, it always just seems a shame when things are rushed out to meet the deadline. I mean, you have to have deadlines, but it's good that if you can set them a long way in the future, rather than for us, so that we can make 3 albums in 10 years, but be happy with the 3 albums. Not make 7 or 8 and say, oh well, 2 and 4 weren't very good, but we were a bit rushed.
Because Headspace has been, going for a little while now. It's not a new band. You guys released what in 2007 first EP?
That's right. 2007 was the EP, and then so it's bizarre really that we've been together so long. But the thing is with the writing especially is that we could, like some bands will go into the studio for 3 months and record an album, and then that would be finished. We spend the same amount of time on an album, but it's just spread over a longer period of time. So we certainly don't sort of just do one day here and one day there. It is kind of it's just having to fit it in with everybody's schedules that makes it so. And we demo the whole album before we start recording it. So by the time we actually do start recording it, we're kind of pretty comfortable with knowing where it's going and what sections are going where. Just so that way, we are really happy. We can reflect on what we've recorded, and we're sort of happy by the time the finished product is done.
It's like, certainly you have a busy schedule, with Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne, and how are the other band members' schedules,
I know it's crazy. It's a nightmare trying to get everybody together. The first time we all got together, this on this album was actually when we shot the video. You know, all the other bits of writing were done in, whether it be groups or of 2 or 3 or whatever, and that was kind of how this one was done. So I think, you know, that's just how it works for us, and that's how it will always work for us, because we can't give 100% of our time to this, because we're all working musicians.
Do you find maybe in 50 years from now it's going to be even more busy, and harder to record albums in a sense?
Well, personally, I don't think I'll be around in 50 years' time, but I think I don't really know how it's going to get, because the recording process has changed so much, in that people can record so much easier and cheaper these days. So it does enable you to be able to record in your own studios and send files around. So in that respect, I think it's going to just continue to get easier. What I think will always prevail is the quality over the quality of writing over the ease of the recording process. So as long as there's people still being creative and coming up with new stuff and good stuff, then I think it will, music will always be there. We've just got to make sure that it's still valued in 50 years' time, and it's not seen as a kind of throwaway commodity.
Very true. Well, Adam, pleasure again to talk to you. This would be our last time we talked. Would have been 3 years ago, promoting Snake Charmer. So,
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
And always good to see your products, and just keep on doing good work, and all you do in your life.
Excellent. Thank you, Jason. Nice to talk to you.
You're very welcome. So talk to you again in the future.
All right, you take care. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.